What the fuck is this shit? How am I going to. How? Welcome. This is Check That Book, where we get acquainted with the most disturbing books ever written. And I have a question. How would you feel if you, just at random, woke up in the morning and realized that your body is no longer human? You're a bug. Franz Kafka is known for creating absurd situations for his protagonists, and also he's famous for inducing anxiety in people through his works. And Metamorphosis does just that. The protagonist wakes to find himself transformed into an insect. That's basically it. Why did I curse about this book for so long? Well, it is difficult to introduce Kafka, despite the work. Metamorphosis is arguably the most famous work by Kafka that, for some reason, is on the top tier of the most disturbing books ever written. I tried my best to understand why is that. And my conclusions are as follows. First things first. If you, let's face the elephant in the room, honestly. If you are afraid of insects, if you have some sort of a phobia or anything that involves insects bothers you, yeah, you are not going to like this one. Honestly, the book itself is not that disturbing at all. It's just the thought behind it that is, and the several layers of underthoughts. Kafka's work is inspired a lot by Fyodor Dostoevsky and Edgar Allan Poe. So if you know those authors, you kind of know what to expect. Metamorphosis itself is not a long read at all. It's just absurd. I was expecting, when I first read it as a teenager, that, oh wow, holy shit, it's going to be a bizarre, disturbing book about a dude who gets physically transformed into an insect. Holy shit, I did not expect what was served to me, and in my not so humble opinion, again, it was such a mundane, casual read, and to me it seems as if the protagonist doesn't really give a shit that he's no longer human, and nobody seems to ask themselves, why is this happening? I mean, if it happened in our world, in real world, without any metaphors and shit, if we are going to leave the metaphorical part aside right now, because it is deeply metaphorical, of course. It is. It's supposed to be a metaphor for human condition and how the circumstances in our lives affect us psychologically, mainly. But this is, again, Kafka is good at creating absurd situations that seem to be so fine. Like, everybody's cool with it in a book, and that is what is truly disturbing. I was reading it like, what is this shit? But on my second read, which happened recently, yeah, it is disturbing. Okay, so we have the absurdity that is disturbing on its own, the physical aspect of it, but how about that? Let's touch upon the deeper meaning just for a sec, real quick. I'm going to, again, this is very subjective. This is how I understood it. Without spoiling it too much. I mean, it's difficult to, because you know what to expect. A dude turns into a bug. You're going to read about this, and this is basically it. But again, everything is metaphorical, right? It's a bit difficult for some, so if you're not a fan of metaphorical stuff and deciphering literature, then perhaps maybe stay clear of this one. But come on, it's actually kind of fun. This one, Gregor, our main character, right, the one who gets turned into a bug, yes, there are consequences, but what's disturbing, to me at least, is that his family, for example, doesn't really care for him being a bug much. They care for him making money. I mean, how are you gonna go to work? See what I mean? It's so bizarre and sad, because I could create a parallel here. Let's say if you suddenly become disabled and your family starts to lose their patience with you because, well, shit, you're disabled, you're not capable of making money anymore the way you used to, let's say, right? So it's kind of like, it immediately made me draw this kind of parallel. One of many, actually, and this is sad because that's your own family. But yeah, again, the Gregor there, he systematically lives his life, and his family basically exploits him, and now he's a bug. And how? I do believe that Gregor's physical metamorphosis, it's basically an allegory for various aspects of human condition and the pressures from society. And yeah, I got it, but again, I got it in my own way. Literature is kind of subjective in this matter, so it was a bizarre read, but I do recommend it. I mean, it's not, I mean, there will be more blood and gore on this channel, don't you worry. We're going to return to books such as The Child Called It or The Groomer. Remember that one? If you don't, it's the very first video on my channel. Go watch it, The Groomer. It's a completely different story. You'll love it if you're a fan of the disturbing. However, Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis, well, I'm glad I could introduce you to it to the best of my ability. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like disturbing content, consider giving this video a boost in the form of an erect thumb and a subscription perhaps. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.